Ну, пошло дело.
Слушай, это не знаешь, был ли баунти на язык, на котором будут разговаривать червяки?
Я не видел.
Потому что это на самом деле реально классная
А вот
баунти.
тут у нас бидвор на то, как назвать червяков. Тут ГДК будет создавать свою команду.
We do also need to do the basic training beforehand, though, because if you try doing the missions at the top without doing that, you get this rather stern message telling you that you are under-practiced in that department. So we're going to do basic training, but before we do, I believe we have a couple of incentives that we need to sort out. So firstly, I need to know what the name of our team is going to be.
Your team name is going to be capital LF uncaps, so lowercase VE and caps.
Тут еще на имя команды.
LFVER. Any lore behind that name, or should I just?
Прикольный интерактивчик. Тут еще можете заметить флаг ГДК у червяков будет. Члены команды червяков будут названы в честь дизайнеров.
Было баунти на язык озвучки.
О, победил Angry Scots в озвучке.
У тебя есть любимая озвучка в игре?
Есть, конечно. Это, во-первых, русская, потому что это супер мем. Это Вики Джинки, тоже мем такой.
Alright, so basic training. Our first basic training is grenade training. We just have to hit 2 targets, and with grenades you can set the fuse on those things from 1 to 5 seconds.
Первая у нас локация, просто по типу отцелить цели.
Да, это обычный туториал, потому что
дважды не попал.
Потому что там пояснял, чего что. Перед тем, как начать вот именно операции, вот миссии, игра говорит: пройди обучение салага. Это курс молодого червяка.
Мне так нравится, как он уже идеально все заучил, все паттерны, просто не выцеливая, выбирает сразу нужные секунды, чтобы кинуть гранату. Идеально.
Я думаю, червяки особо в представлении не нуждаются.
Я, кстати говоря, до того, как посмотрел спидран червяков, даже не знал, что с помощью вот этого приема, я забыл название, когда ты бьешь вверх, его можно использовать во время прыжка. То есть я всегда почему-то думал, что ты как бы подходишь к червяку, используешь его, и оно действует примерно как бейсбольная бита. Но на самом деле нет. Ты можешь прыгнуть и после чего использовать удар.
Вот пишут, что это Fire Punch, но я его называю Змей Горыныч. По русской озвучке червяков. Ну, вообще, если кто червяков не застал, это вот такая игра по ходам. И на своем ходе, цель это вырубить вражеских червяков или выполнить условия миссии, которые будут в кампании. Игра делится на ходы. Во время хода мы можем передвигаться и использовать различные оружия. И в оружиях весь самый прикол, потому что пушек очень много, и у пушек разная механика.
Да, здесь интересная механика показана, что
Okay, Operation Market Garden.
Враги
This is a
могут
kill 'em
просто
all
тебя
mission. We have
потерять
4
и
worms
не
in the
знать, где
center
ты
of the map. We
будешь.
just have to
И
kill them
можно
all.
просто так пропускать уровни,
And we're doing a couple turns. It's
даже
actually
не
very
побеждая.
mysterious
А вот
and
тут прикольная фигня.
we're discovering some black magic here. So,
Grenade jump, как в какой-нибудь
immediately he
Quake.
throws a grenade down, he does a couple back jumps and boosts his worm over to these 4 enemy worms in the middle. You'll see the CPU is in blue, we're in red. So the CPU will always do this shot on our worm, and 2 of the CPU worms are bunched together now. And Ruffle did another move really quickly on turn 2, all so that we can
Ну,
get this
поначалу
bait shot.
искусственный
So the
интеллект
CPU
довольно
takes a
глупый
pot shot
и
at us,
допускает
they
ошибки.
miss, they hit
Например, вот
themselves,
такие вот,
and they
когда ты
form a pile of 4 worms.
ты видишь,
And
как
now that
своих
all the 4
же
worms
атакуют
piled,
червей.
Да,
Ruffled
и
is
здесь
just
не только...
doing
вот
his
это вообще
one shot,
отличный
which will
выстрел.
kill them every
Но здесь не
time.
только червяк по своим долбит, но тут червяки собираются вместе, что дает раннеру задеть их всех одной гранатой.
Из-за того, что червяки умирают по очереди, они сами себя подрывают после смерти, и это позволяет просто вынести всю
It's very
тиму
swag.
разом.
I like that little touch you added. Yeah. Awesome. So, okay, so we're on to All Quiet in the Library, Mission 3. So, Ruffled is resetting the mission 4 times. We have to start this one on the 5th attempt so that the game will toss us a pity crate, not to be confused with like a mercy crate.
2 pity crates.
Yeah. So the pity crate that we get specifically is this one. It's falling on Uncle Reggie. We don't actually need the contents of the crate. We just need to bounce that cap.
Но также в червяках есть механика ветра и некоторое оружие и его снаряды подвержено искажению баллистики в зависимости от силы и направления ветра, например, как базука.
Ой, как же это балдежно выглядит, когда просто математически посчитанный удар бейсбольной битой выносит половину тимы.
Но тут не только половина тимы, тут это с использованием ящика с оружием. И одним из самых кайфовых оружий это бейсбольная бита.
Я больше всего ждал этого рана на этом GTQ, и я очень рад, что он выглядит так, как я и хотел, чтобы он выглядел.
Да, здесь, в принципе, все очень сильно завязано на математике. То есть под каким углом бить, каким оружием. Тут, правда, скорее всего, будет использоваться стабильное оружие, которое не подвержено особо ветру, либо раннер настолько хорошо преисполнился, что даже может рассчитать траекторию снаряда.
Ну, тут примерно одинаковое все время. То есть много отличий между ранами нету. Довольно предсказуемый рандом в игре. Ну и плюс это пока что самое начало. Конечно, дальше будут некоторые отличия.
Начинается пиксель-хайтинг.
As you can see, the auto camera kind of yanks. I think I've got it slightly off, but we'll see.
Yeah, that's good. There's just a tiny margin of error.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Okay.
Nicely done. That's like pretty optimal too. When they don't walk the whole way, that's actually a little faster, I think.
Right, I've switched on the background for the next mission.
Fantastic. So this mission, the premise of this one is that guard is, holding the world hostage, threatening to blow up the South Pole. So our strat here is just going to be oozing the crates above him, which send him into the water. And we
Мир начинается с того, что мы получаем дебаф, что у нас всего 10 хп на старте. По-моему, этот чер сейчас просто утопится. Нет, он решил проигнорить.
Да, здесь просто раннеру не очень сильно повезло. Тут вообще основная страта — это взорвать ящик и огнем столкнуть вражеского червяка в воду. А еще, кстати, вот в предыдущей миссии был сюжет, что червяк грозился взорвать Северный
Okay, so
полюс.
we're on to mission 5, do the locomotion or yellow bungee choo choo hell. So for this one,
Why would you say that?
yeah, so it is a bit hellish. We have to do this bungee fling on turn 2. So Ruffled has carved away the landscape so that we can do a bungee.
Справа
Slightly
снизу есть
premature,
такая
but we
полосочка.
got onto the train,
Сейчас
so
она
that's the main thing.
красная и очень сильная.
Right, right. No, that's nice. Anything that's
Это
on the
направление
train is,
ветра
like,
и сила
good.
ветра.
So the bungee is not a weapon that was meant to fling worms, but you can use it that way.
Тут
It's only
офигенный
meant to actually
мувмент
get to lower
демонстрирует
spots.
ранее.
You're meant to like bungee from
Буквально
higher to lower spots.
м,
But with
тебе
enough
сделал
practice, you
пиксель
can actually fling your
ударом
worm upwards using the
апперкотом,
bungee, and that gets us
и с
over here to this
помощью
jetpack. We
тарзанки
just need to collect this crate,
зацепился
go
за
right,
пиксель
and the mission's
и
over.
себя отправил
And what I did there,
в
just to
небеса.
speed up going to the congratulations screen slightly quicker, is I did skip go at the end, which basically just ends your turn immediately. That sort of saves about, I think, maybe like 1 second, but it's just a nice little optimization that you can do.
Yeah. Okay, we're on to mission 6, Sand in Your Eye. For this one, we kind of get a free kill on the left side of the map. If we just set off this mine, it sets off another mine, which goes straight into another worm and kills them. And while that's happening, Ruffled is piling these 2 worms using bazooka.
Вот тут идет манипуляция с миной, что подрывая одну мину, мы сталкиваем вторую к червяку, и на первый же ход мы убиваем одного червяка.
Tries to prioritize the field soldier on the left as they go into the water, and what we're trying to do is get those 2 sentries into a specific position next to the pyramid, where we can kill them off in one go on this turn. So we're going to use a longbow. This is similar to a shotgun, but we use it. It's 2 shots per turn, but it fires arrows rather than bullets. First one we're going to use to knock this field soldier down into the water, like so. As you can see, the mine sort of slows their trajectory a bit, but if you get the right angle, then they have enough momentum. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to line this second shot up using the camel's eye here, and then hopefully, if we get this right, I'm going to fire this mine down. Oh, I think we got it.
Раннер довольно точно вымеряет по карте, куда стрелять. Вот, например, ориентируйся по глазу верблюда.
Ой-ой, он еще и взрывает аптечку, что наносит дополнительный урон.
Аж минус 91.
Если я правильно помню, то когда червяк самоуничтожается, он наносит 25 урона. И это бы не убило.
Что-то то ли 15, то ли 25, да, где-то они.
Поэтому именно нужна была аптечка.
А, вот 25, ты прав.
So here we have a rope knock, and so the interesting thing about rope knocking is when you just
Там граната и отталкивает червяка через веревку. Но мы здесь будем видеть филигранное искусство спецопераций.
Это так идеально.
Ну или геймплей агента 47 в виде червяка.
So for not much room out here, on this mission, all we have is rope and girder, and we have to collect the crate on the far right side of the map.
Представьте, что это такой боевик из 80-х годов, где какой-нибудь там Шварц или...
Чуть-чуть не повезло. Здесь должно было быть -3, но он немного промахнулся.
Но осечки бывают. Ну, я думаю, есть... ну тут вообще цель миссии всего лишь добраться до ящика, поэтому тут -3 особо и не нужен.
Ну, это было бы очень красиво, потому что...
Это было бы очень красиво, да.
Я прям влетел бы, и такой баунс. Ну, я боюсь, что он бы сам отлетел, поэтому... Жертвуем красотой ради... Ради скорости.
Your worm has a slow part of its walk cycle and then a fast part of its walk cycle, because, you know, a worm is like wriggling. So if you just right-click during the slow part of the walk cycle, it'll skip it, and you have to sort of right-click rhythmically to do this, or you can use the arrow keys. So it'll skip the slow part of the walk cycle, leaving you with only the fast part. So you can walk just a little bit faster. It's really cool.
Yeah, so what we just did here, to kill these two worms off at the bottom, we used longbow. Longbow only does 15 damage from contact, so we basically just shot both of those worms into nearby mines. And speaking of mines, I've stood in a position here that manipulates this
Вот лук наносит не
sentry
очень много
moving to the
урона,
left,
но
so that they are now stood
цель лука в этом ране —
between to that
это
mine
двигать
there.
вражеских червяков к минам.
Decreased this frog's vision quite significantly, so rip frog. And now what I'm going to do is hit that mine there, so that takes some damage on the sentry, then hit the other mine which they land by, and that basically the combined damage is going to kill that sentry off, but it's not going to damn it, it's not going to count that until the turn is over. So
Здесь произошла
Ой,
первая
ой, ой.
стычка.
as we were going to swing across to the crate on the left there and grab that, as that contains an old woman which we would have used to
Ошибочка.
fire that up. Unfortunately, I just slightly messed up the rope there. We might be dead here because he's going to use a minigun which can do 100 damage.
I'm gonna get you.
88. Okay, right. That's workable. So we need to get all 50 damage from this.
Повезло,
Да,
повезло.
повезло.
Yeah, slightly BL here, but yeah, we got it.
There we go. Yeah, had to YOLO the end there just because of the rope mishap, but
Yeah, not much of a time loss, really.
No.
All right, so we're on to mission 9, Water Surprise. This is one of those missions I think a lot of people will remember as being just absolutely hellish. There's mines on top of this Eiffel Tower. We have to get to the top to reach this crate. And so that means we have to clear the mines. If you just shoot at them normally, they're gonna fly back at you and just like hit you. So with this very careful shot, he can hit that second mine and it'll hit his worms, but he knows that they'll still live.
Yeah, mommy's boy.
yeah, it was Psychotropic who came up with that
Надо
stat
дойти
there.
до ящика сверху, или Эльфийской башни.
Now, right, we're gonna
И
try
для
and
этого
get
нужно
this
расчистить
girder
мины.
right. I think that's it. We'll see. Basically, like, so to be able to kill the general off, because that's the aim of this mission, we need to scale the Eiffel Tower and grab this crate, which contains an aqua sheep. Now, in order to do this as efficiently as possible, we're using this one girder as a deflective surface, so that we can backflip
Ну, тут
our
буст
way up.
через
I'm looking at it
червячка.
now, it looks like it might be a little narrow. No, we can get up. Okay, that's fine. But let's see.
На самом деле, когда наблюдаешь за раном, понимаешь, насколько много всего есть в игре, о чем ты не
This is
знал.
extremely tight, so you can scale this Eiffel Tower with just one girder. Okay, he got it.
Yeah. And then if you want to explain the aqua sheep.
So we're not actually flying the aqua sheep all the way around, which was the intended way to do it. We're just immediately releasing it.
Ну, так вот через
and it
обуз
detonated above the
балки
land and
можно
hit the
взобраться
the general
по
through the land.
вертикальной поверхности.
Yeah. Got a nice big hitbox, the sheep explosion, so.
Yeah, even though the land is indestructible, we can still get the blast through there. So we're on to Jurassic
Ну, вообще,
World.
в целом, карты в червяках,
And
да
immediately
и,
you just have to
да и
kill
сами
the general
червяки
one.
по настроению это
The bottom of
такая,
this dinosaur
такой-
here.
такая пародия.
So Ruffled has released a
Я думаю,
mole bomb,
последнее, что
and
надо
at the
искать в
same time, he
червяках,
set
это
off a
логику.
mine that launches another mine down the mole hole, killing the captain. And
Как аккуратно
all the other
мина
worms
упала
are-
ровно
they're-
на голову
they're just like,
червяку.
this is too much.
It's a specific worm, Mad Black, not a general worm. Come on, keep up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a kill the leader mission. There's three of them, three of those in the game, and those are probably some of the most fun strats for the most part.
Yeah, it just goes so fast.
Yeah.
And we're on to Chemical Warfare, Mission 11. This one is a bit hairy because the land is indestructible. We can't blast through it. All the worms are like inside just these little cavernous areas. So we have to be very careful about how we get to them. We can only hit them using things like fire.
Эта миссия
punch
немножко особенная.
or
Дело в том,
dynamite.
что
And
карта
Ruffled did have to
неразрушаемая в
reset
этой
the
миссии.
mission one time to get a dynamite crate, which we'll be using towards the end.
Как бы задача стоит в том, что надо думать насчет того, как достать червяков, учитывая, что все червяки находятся внутри.
I tried to get the fire punch in within the half second before the game tries to count up the damage on the right-hand worm. I managed it, so
Ну,
that
я так
means that
понимаю,
you
что
save just a
в
few seconds there because the
ящиках
all
телепорта,
damage on
скорее всего,
the
находится.
field is counted at once. Right, I was slightly early on that fire punch there just to be on the safe side, because if you're late on that one, you miss it, it's pretty much a reset. Ideally, you want to land so that you don't take fall damage there, but I'd rather take the fall damage than have to reset this mission.
Yeah, the fire punch is like, it's almost unnecessarily hard because we could just use shotgun or something, but
Yeah.
I don't know, it's cool to get.
Yeah. Anyway, all this is basically just to manipulate this major in the middle to walk to the right so that we can get a dynamite on them in a moment. But while we're doing that, there's not a huge amount of interest going on apart from the baseball bat's ginormous hitbox. So if there's a donation you want to read out, this
У
would be a good time.
биты огромный хитбокс, поэтому ранее
Alrighty,
не
then here's
составила проблем
48
отправить
hours from court. This
червяка в
frozen
воду.
flag on. Hi, this is Comet's Deaths times 3 as promised. Thanks to Comet for having me as a commentator, and Zen for being an awesome host and friend. Fergie, make sure to hold me to that chat. I owe $48 after this lovely shift. I can't do it right now though.
Awesome, thank you very much. Right, so this dynamite
Тут в этой
here,
миссии
we
одна
only
из
got
трасс —
this,
это
for the
манипуляция
game
расположением
as a
червяков.
result of resetting the mission
Вот
once
центральный
before we
червяк
started it,
Мейджор
but
должен был
it's the
отправиться
easiest
направо,
way of
что есть.
dealing with those two majors. Field soldier in the
А,
middle,
тут
you
несколько
may
мейджоров.
notice during the donation
Левый
to
мейджор
get
должен был
blocked
отправиться
onto a
направо,
mine by loose
чтобы
flame from
задеть
the airstrike.
двоих червяков динамитом.
And sometimes you can get a free kill on the field soldier from the airstrike. It's very rare though, so
Yeah, we were so close.
yes. Oh, set the mine off there as well. That was accidental, but it's fine. It has like a 1 second or 1.5 second fuse, so we're good. I'm using a minigun there, which is a bit excessive for 21 health, but minigun is, I think, the most powerful gun weapon in the game. It can do up to 100 if used at point blank range.
Ранее использует миниган, чтобы добить, но это
So we're on to no
как пушка по
substitute first
воробьям,
appearance
потому
of
что миниган
most
одна из
recognizable
самых
weapons in the game.
Oh yeah.
дамажащих пушек в игре.
Bring along if you know the words, chat, or if you know the words. It is the holy hand grenade. What we're going to do here is I am going to
Да, это спидран по всем миссиям.
here, drop the holy hand grenade, and then jump back and then jump onto the holy hand
О,
grenade. That is
знаменитая
the
святая
rare one
граната.
here, Phoenix,
Бабах.
onto the field soldier here, knocking them into
О.
the water. It has also launched
О,
the
как же
artillery
это
on top of
хорошо.
archery there, and because artillery has taken
Отправить
a
всего
fatal
червя
amount
в
of damage
воздух,
from the
чтобы
Lord,
скинуть другого.
the grave damage then knocks the field soldier.
И этот
off
еще
the
взрывается,
ground
скидывает
into the water.
еще.
So we get a triple kill there, or as I like to call it, the Holy Trinity.
Ooh, it's so good.
Yeah, we got another Holy Trinity
Как
coming up
Как же
later
это
as well,
прекрасно.
so look out for
Хорошая
that.
шутка,
Ooh,
что
oh,
ранее
oh,
оформил
we almost
святую
got a
троицу.
kill from field soldier there, which is rare, but a nice little
Почти.
time save if that happens, but
Почти идеальный рандом выпал.
okay. And then what we're going to do just to finish this mission off is we get 2 shots from the shotgun, so I'm using first shot there just to knock the field soldier down. Then having to time this jump right from the edge there, because you may have noticed the water is raising ever so slightly in between each turn. So it's just jumping across there to the majors, jumping like
Здесь
many
ранее,
games, it's quicker than walking. And then just using the second shot to
Отправляет червяка в специфическую точку,
Great.
чтобы
You know, the
утопить,
holy
потому
hand grenade
что
move,
на
it's
этой
really
карте
getting into,
вода
what some people
поднимается.
described as the run being a violent Rube Goldberg machine. We're just knocking worms into each other. So we're on to who left the floodgates open, and Ruffled has to start this one by selecting the left worm and doing a precise series of jumps to get onto this green barrel. If he doesn't do these pixel perfect jumps, he just can't make it. And he's firing a 3-second max bounce grenade, so you'll notice it knocks that right secret agent worm down, and it sends a mine to the left, which also knocks this secret agent. They're all on the right side of the map, and the water is going to be rising.
Продолжаются
So
филигранные
those worms are
выстрелы от
eventually
раннера.
going to drown.
Yeah, we've knocked him into what we call the drowning threshold, and then we've left Phoenix down there.
Я буду с
as
физики
bait because, what it
снарядов.
does, it manipulates this field soldier into walking down to where the other tomb worms are, meaning that all three of them are now in the drowning threshold, and they are pretty much dead. The AI is actually programmed to teleport out of danger when it detects the water level rising nearby, but because field soldiers started high enough up, it sort of missed that. And also,
Каждым
the enemy
раундом water
worms, you
level,
may notice if
уровень
you
воды растет, из-за
pay
этого
attention
червяки
in this
начинают
run,
тонуть.
have a rightward bias in the way that they walk, so you can always guarantee the field soldier will walk down
И
there.
математически
Now, this
посчитанное
is where the R&D
расположение
section of
3
the
червяков просто.
mission starts
Вот,
coming
также
into its
на
own.
этой карте вы можете
Skip
заметить
can
такие
do
полосы
one of a number of things in this
ограничивающие.
turn. Is skip go, which
Это
is
означает,
important to our
что
worms.
это
Sometimes
закрытая
they can
карта,
do a nasty teleport,
и здесь не
which it
работает,
can be a nasty teleport. Sometimes it
допустим,
can be a nice teleport, but
удар с
sometimes they can
воздуха.
teleport like over to this side of the
They can
map.
teleport like into land and you can't even get to them.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
I think on my,
So-
my most recent PB, they teleported underneath the cables, and I had to
Oh, no.
I had to try and deal with that, which was annoying. But
Не, почему?
Oh,
По
God.
червякам до сих
Even
пор
this
пилят
left guy
игры.
can teleport, but
Просто
he'll
они
basically always do a Zook shot of some
не,
kind.
сос-
And he opened up, which is
не
what we
становятся
want.
популярными, как
exactly.
классика.
so now,
So now we have
Yeah, go
we
on.
have access to both worms, and it's
Ну
still
да,
a
я
bit
согласен
tough,
с
but at this
мнением,
point
что
it's a little bit improv.
World Party
A lot of things
Armageddon,
can
они
happen here
слишком
depending on
идеальны,
how that
и,
worm
в принципе,
opens,
невозможно
but
прыгнуть
Ruffled's gonna
выше
pile
своей
these two
головы.
worms,
Ну, я, кстати, недавно
and then
видел
hopefully we'll be able to kill
последних
in, like, one
червяков,
more
которые
turn.
выходили. Они
yeah,
довольно
so
забавные.
let's see what kind of outcome we get as a result of this next longbow. Ideally, I think I want to go for a minigun, but okay. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to stand on Secret Agent's combined head here because hopefully that should stop them from moving. It might
Можно
block the
застакать
teleport, but
червяков, если
usually it results in
специально
skip go.
встать под них.
Or a kind of waste bazooka like this one that we just got. So that's good. Like
Okay, nice.
The
This
AI
looks
will
pretty
always. The
optimal.
AI will
И,
always
кстати, да,
try and
иногда
do
искусственный
everything.
интеллект очень
Like,
сильно
that's the
тупит.
main thing to note
Тут
about
Может,
the AI.
проблема в
буквально
том,
я
что
бы
из-за
или-
положения
You know, they don't want to
персонажа,
skip
то
go.
есть
They, like,
червяка,
always wanna
которого
try and
мы
do something.
поставили, искусственный интеллект
So here we are with the minigun,
застрял, и он
and, yeah,
просто
double
не знал,
swap.
что
There we
ему
go.
делать. Это и
Nice.
такой
This
прикольный
one
баг.
is a very scary mission, especially if one of those worms survives at the end there, because they'll just teleport somewhere randomly.
Yes.
So that was really optimal.
Don't know who Sniper 2 is.
Кто-то раннера нашел
To
в
the friends
в
list.
Стиме.
О нет!
Super Sheep to the red
О
rescue.
нет, он не
Кто-то забыл
выключил!
отключить
For this
э,
one,
Он не
we
выключить.
ушел
have to
в
fly a super
оффлайн!
sheep through this little cavernous area and collect a crate. And Ruffled Skip, he restarted the mission one time so that we would get that pity crate, not to be confused with a mercy crate, in the lower left corner of the map. And that just makes it a little easier to get to. It contains a fire punch. He just fire punches that worm.
Yeah, this one you used to be able to
Да,
choose
здесь
when the
еще есть
game first
такая
came out,
механика,
because
что
if you
когда
blew
мы
up the super sheep right
используем
at a distance,
овцу,
then,
ну, во-первых,
the game would still
суперовца,
count
она
as a kill, they
управляется,
didn't care if your worm survived.
а во-вторых,
That
мы
got
ею
patched
можем
out,
брать
so,
ящики, поэтому у нас
survival is part of
появился
the win condition
огненный удар.
on that
Yeah,
mission.
unfortunately.
It's pretty rare though. Like most missions, you don't need to survive to win.
А шахматы Фишера — это прикольная вещь, кстати. Это где нижний ряд фигур рандомизируется. И получается 960 вариаций шахмат. И цель шахмат Фишера заключается в том, чтобы использовать смекалку, так сказать, соображалку на месте, нежели заученные паттерны ходов, как в классических шахматах.
So you have to like just know what you're doing. But what happened there? Huge explosion from the holy hand grenade. It killed the bottom two, and it
Опять математически
blew my worm
посчитанные
next to
ходы.
one at the top there. So the grave damage.
О,
knocked them
как
in.
же
Can
это
everyone please
хорошо.
stop adding me to their Steam friend list? I don't know why that is visible on there.
О,
but,
предусмотрительно, очень предусмотрительно зацензурили.
Let's just shut up.
Да, были прецеденты,
Okay,
которые...
perigrали.
Okay, so this one is pretty straightforward. We just have to rope over these worms of high prestige, even though they're just basic soldiers.
Боже,
On the
выключите,
town,
пожалуйста,
we kamikaze straight
Semantification.
down.
Там
You
уже
just have
было
to kill
предупредительное
the general
N.
worm at the bottom, and that's it. It's just a kill the leader mission.
Ну,
Anyone knows
пиксель
how to
перфект,
stop
но
those
при
steam
нахождении
from,
страт это
coming
именно
up on you,
математически
please do let me
подсчитывалось.
know, because... Oh, I think I'm one research short there.
Okay, so we're on to Chateau Wisconsin.
Мне
This is
кажется,
another
что
one that
скоро...
I'm sure has driven many people just
Ну, конечно,
completely
наверное,
nuts,
Steam до этого не
because you
дойдет,
have to
но
get
весь
to
правая
the
часть
far
экрана
right
будет
worm on
черная.
the far right side of the map, and you
Да,
really don't have
максимально
much in the
тройка.
way of weapons. You have to
Ну да,
traverse
да,
these
максимально
chateaus,
тройка,
and they're
но
just
было
lined with
очень бы забавно
mines
было бы,
that will
что если
explode the
бы
moment you get near them.
настолько часто
So
бы
we have a really
добавлялись
nice
в
way
Стиме,
to sort
что
of cheat
просто
this.
закрылась
The
бы вся
first
эта
part of
правая
that
часть
is that
экрана.
we reset the mission 4 times and start on the 5th attempt. That gives us a low gravity crate.
Ой, тут
which means
скукожило
the low
таймер.
gravity just, you know, it cuts the gravity in half basically, and lets you do bigger and longer
Шедевральный
jumps.
ран просто.
So for turn 1, Ruffled is positioning one of his worms
По-моему,
on top of this
кто-то
roller
на
barrel. And you'll
лайауте
see
не
he
очень
got out there by
хорошо
using his worms as just a
тронул
step ladder. That part is
трансформацию
Ну,
дайвера.
кого-то, видимо, уже уволят.
This next
Да.
part, not so much.
Well, maybe it was. We'll never
Maybe,
find
yeah,
out.
maybe.
Yeah.
Listen, you
Я,
you
кстати,
guys can
заметил,
judge once you see it.
что раннер играет
So what we're doing
на
here
довольно
is
низком
we've grabbed ourselves a
разрешении.
fire punch crate. We've switched to this
Он не
worm,
использует
and
фикс
then we're doing a
разрешения.
fire punch on the oil
Ну,
drum there, which will launch you video
знаешь как,
all the way up to
ну,
the
принято в
general, hitting the
спидранах
mine,
использовать
knocking them
все самое
into the
ванильное,
water.
если
We
нет
get,
на
I think it was 3
это
skims on there.
веской нужды.
We never get any more than 3, unfortunately. But the major, as you can see, just
Квадрат поменял
surrenders
цвет.
immediately from our superior prowess.
And it's beautiful. I think that's my favorite technique, probably.
Похоже, таймер все-таки специально так
Right,
скукожили.
rescue agent Dennis. Hello.
Но вообще я не согласен с тем, что поменяли цвет квадратика.
Yes, I've paused quickly.
О, это карта налога
Да, это-
разработчиков.
Мы прерываемся на ликвидирование Steam оверлея.
Прерываемся на то, чтобы починить все. Игра настолько хороша, что она сломала вообще все.
И также мы спасаем таймер. Так что не переключайтесь, ребят.
Легендарочка просто залетела. Ой, как же у них кукожит таймер. Ой, таймер layout. А возможно ли сделать рокировку в шахматах Фишера?
Да, по-моему, да. Там есть определенные правила насчет рокировки.
Я просто недавно узнал, что в обычных шахматах у рокировки есть некоторые допуски по типу какую-то сначала возьмешь фигуру, если ты возьмешь не ту фигуру, то ты не сможешь сделать рокировку.
Ну, вообще в шахматах у рокировки два условия. Это чтобы было свободное место между королем и ладьей, и что до рокировки ни ладья, ни король не сделали ход. В шахматах Фишера все чуть-чуть сложнее.
Еще, по-моему, есть еще одно правило. Король не должен находиться под шахом.
Да. Да, тоже. Да, то есть рекрутка нельзя от шаха убежать, да, это тоже. Но, в принципе, шах все отменяет, пока король не уйдет из-под удара. А само разумеется. Но, в принципе, если... Ну, вообще, да. То есть, да, на самом деле, можно сказать, что это 3 условия.
Какой в эру шахмат? Мат в 2 хода.
Детский мат.
Детский мат, да.
Вот, ну вообще, как браться, как это, я все время вспоминаю Накамуру, грандмастер, который вообще 2 руками это делает.
Ворс Армагеддон заспидранил само ГДК. Это победа. Это самый балдежный ран на марафоне.
Вообще, для меня самое прекрасное в шахматах в том, что даже когда ты полный нубас и проигрываешь все позиции, ты находишь ход, который призевал оппонента, и делаешь ему мат.
Ну, по сути, на самом деле, в шахматах это основной принцип победы. Только не против робота, потому что робот делает зевков. Окей, они пофиксили таймер.
И, надеюсь, в Steam никто не добавится.
You're a monster of worm, you're a secret agent, and apparently you are Agent Dennis, the one that needs to be rescued. We're not sure, but whatever the case, you have to take out all these worms. It's another kill 'em all. Oh, very nice.
Yeah, so we got the napalm strike there. Basically, for that napalm strike, you have to wait for the wind to be going to the right. It doesn't have to be like as sort of strong as it was on that turn, but you basically just wanted to kill off the 2 worms on the left side of the M, but we got the 3rd one as well, which makes the next move slightly less pressure. What we're going to do with the field soldier up here is we're going to use a homing missile to
Ну, вообще, по поводу искусственного интеллекта в шахматах, на личесе есть куча ботов, которые делают люди. Есть как и веселые, так и те, которые играют более-менее как люди. Есть и весьма дружелюбные. Как сокращать таймер гранаты, используешь клавиши от 1 до 5. И, следовательно, на какую кнопку нажимаешь, то ты таймер ставишь.
Я недавно узнал, что люди устроили соревнования по шахматам, чтобы написать игру за как можно меньшее количество занимаемого пространства, что дошло до того, что они начали запихивать игру в бут-сектор загрузочный диска, что составляет 512 байт, по-моему.
Move 1 pixel up the side of a worm and then drop the banana underneath you. Your worm absorbs all of the explosions from the bananas, which causes this mega explosion, which basically can do huge damage, as you've seen. And because
it's a potassium overdose.
Yes, and because winning is not a condition of many of the missions, including one called Rescue Agent Dennis.
Я подозреваю, что на геймпаде есть отдельная какая-то функция, отвечающая за выбор секунд. По типу шифта, типа правый shift увеличить время, левый shift уменьшить, что-то подобное.
This is, I guess you'd call it a shopper mission, kind of in that you start with very few weapons, just an Uzi, so you need to grab some crates.
Здесь миссия в червяках — это такой батл-рояль. Здесь не так много оружия в начале, но везде лежат ящики с тем, чтобы вооружиться.
Banana bomb.
Grenade there, we threw that down just so we get this double kill on them.
А
This mission
вообще,
really showcases the importance of like piling worms. It's a big
сейчас
tactic
вкину
with
мем, а
worms,
кто
like
помнит
you just
Вормикс,
blast worms
по-моему,
into each
это
other,
ВКонтакте,
then
эти
when they're
клон
all grouped
червяков.
together, you can take them
Ой,
out
я,
way more
знаешь, я
easily.
вот думал, когда кто-нибудь вспомнит про
Yeah.
Вормикс
Also,
ВКонтакте.
this mission
Я
has a
ждал этого.
weird sort of
У меня
briefing to
27
it
уровень
because there's a
был.
crate in the bottom right, bottom left, sorry, which contains a nuclear test. That's a weird
Ой-ой-ой, опять
configuration, man.
начинаются
I think we might be in
математически
trouble here.
подсчитанные
I'm wondering if I should
гранаты.
reset. What's this guard gonna do? Yeah, I think that's a reset because they're too far apart from each other there. So basically, like we
Так
need to
Анику чуть не
pile them
повезло,
up, to
вынужден
get room to get
заресетить.
like a
О,
banana
кто-то
trick on them at the end.
даже
Yeah, this
донатил
one has some
Вормикс.
RNG with the
Не
banana
знаю,
trick.
первая
Like,
игра, в
I do
которую
it
я донатил, это
in a
был Мир
way
танков
that's super risky
на
and runs the
премиум.
risk of blowing up the
Первая игра, в
crate,
которой я
which
задонатил,
loses
была
you the
Копатель
mission.
онлайн.
And doing it this way is also
Я там на шмотки
potentially risky.
не
The guard
гопали.
can walk to the right,
Нет,
the worms can get separated. So this one is very,
зато я да.
it's very thorny.
Yeah,
Ах
I
ты,
would- I would
блин,
call it
а,
that.
that
нехороший
crate that I'm talking
человек.
about, the one in the bottom left with the red halo around it. Like you're sort of supposed to grab it, but it doesn't actually trigger the end of the mission. Just
Да ладно, я
killing all
шучу.
the enemy worms does. But if you
У
blow
меня
up the
вход на
crate
сервер был
before,
бесплатный.
the mission is
Я
over,
просто
then
просил, если можете
that's a
сдать
fail.
шмотки.
So
When in doubt, kill the enemy worms.
Yeah.
That's the lesson.
So anyway, we're going to, because we're doing this for a second time, we just need to catch up with where we were. So if there's maybe one or two donations you want to read out, Xanadu, now would be a good time to do so.
Alrighty, then here's $33.33
Когда
from
были
Gold
Симпсоны,
King with
я
the message,
работал, так
I'd
что
be remiss
сори,
if I didn't
ребят.
donate for my favorite multiplayer game as a kid, Worms
Я
Armageddon.
пришел на
I
Симпсоны.
spent many
Симпсонов
late nights
очень
playing
прикольный ран,
online
и
on my
изначально хотел
predecessor to a 56
прийти на
K
него.
modem, learning how to ninja rope and make
А
мне не
еще
grenade shots in
Симпсоны —
TNT.
это
And
местный
last week,
локальный
games.
мем.
Thanks to the devs for making this fantastic game,
Именно
to
эта игра
Community
как
for
в
helping me
спидран.
learn the best trick
Ну,
shots, and to
Хитэн Ран —
RuffledBricks for the
это
run.
довольно
Less than
забавный
fun.
ран. И
Have a
я
lot more.
довольно-таки давно за ним следил.
Alrighty, then here's a $5 donation from Michael that says, I am in complete shock. As a kid playing these missions I thought were impossible, RuffledBricks makes it look like a walk in the park. I am watching this while being in complete disbelief with my jaw.
Прилетел донат в $5.
Yeah, it is a walk in the park.
Чел пишет, что, блин, я когда мелким играл, мне эти миссии казались невозможными, но раннер делает их, как будто это прогулка в парке.
So it's just about like learning how to do what we call notching. Basically, you find like the specific angle. Like with that holy hand grenade shot, for example, we had a specific terrain
Но
marker for that
ХП,
again.
как он
Didn't quite get
живет.
the one shot on that one, sadly. The artillery there, you can get a full 100 health kill on them on some occasions, but it's
Но
slightly
здесь,
dependent.
Oh, you got robbed.
да, здесь реально чуть не повезло, но чаще всего этот артиллерист остается в живых.
I'm having to add a couple of extra turns here just to ensure both that the grenadier is in the right position for the banana trick and that the artillery is killed off there. I think they might skip go here. Yeah, that's it. Weird.
Oh, nice.
Weird thing with the CPU is when they're stood on a crate like that, rather than actually
Я
collecting.
тоже донатил на пару
I think
скинцов
the
в Лиге
AI doesn't
Легенд.
realize they're
Есть
doing
даже
that,
еще
so
история, когда
they'll just sort of skip
Кокс
go a
был
lot of the
довольно
time.
безжалостным.
Right, here we
Then
go.
occasionally
А играл я на
and
ЮОВ.
not
Мы с
realize
друзьями
you collected it, and
скидывались
then just idle for the rest
и
of the turn.
покупали на общую
Oh, yeah,
сумму
that's,
скины.
well, that's that. Yeah, if it's an artillery worm, because
Кому
this
что
there is
надо.
a nasty sort of like, not really a soft lock because it doesn't stop the entire game from happening, but
Ультра банана.
for the turn that artillery takes, if they end up collecting a crate of any kind, then they will just stand still for the rest of their turn. So you end up locking the AI. Anyway, that
Yeah,
one's
they do that.
yeah, that one's done.
Okay, nicely done. So Horny Nuke, that one is
Несмотря на то,
one of the
что
longer and tougher ones, I would say.
червяк раннер
We're on
погиб,
to
миссия
Rumble
все равно
and
считается
Farmyard.
пройденной.
This one has some pretty interesting techniques. There's a nice fling that we're going to see. And on turn one, Ruffled starts by just shooting a Zook. It hits a mine that launches into Field Soldier. It doesn't seem to do much to Field Soldier, but it's setting up a future move. So we're going to pile those two Field Soldiers on the right into each other.
I'm gonna get you. Yes, sir.
You can keep talking.
Если они специально наступают на мину, чтобы подготовить следующие ходы,
It's gonna be oh BL.
Gotta try
так
it.
сказать,
We'll try again. Like,
многоходовочка.
basically what we're trying to do there, we call it a rope fling. We need to rope across to
Такой
the,
красивый полет,
left-hand
но,
side
к
of the
сожалению,
map, and
промахнулся.
that's usually the quickest way, but you have to get the angle right.
Yeah, this
Очень,
fling
очень
is
узкое пространство
pretty hard to do.
для
If you
маневра.
don't get it, it's kind of faster to just reset the mission. I think honestly, like it seemed like you had it that time.
I think the angle was a bit too far on the fling, but like it's fine. These bazooka shots, by the way, we kind of want to get these because we want our health to be a certain level for GL Phoenix.
Yeah, that worm. So yeah, we actually want that worm to be a little bit damaged.
There we go.
Ой, про Team Fortress, помню, я донатил
That fling is
на
really hard,
спиночес,
and
чтобы сделать свой аккаунт
you can actually do that
премиум
fling
аккаунтом.
a slightly easier way. You're doing it like the hardest
Тогда
way.
Team Fortress был фри-то-плейный, и
Yeah, but
типа,
that's
чтобы
not
тебе чаще шмотки падали, нужно было на что-нибудь
You
задонатить.
can, like,
И тогда
you know,
спиночес был один из
attach a
самых
little bit,
дешевых
like, lower
предметов.
into the right, like maybe a little less power.
Wait.
But I don't know. I mean, you're getting that all the time.
Map
Я
does most
очень-очень
of
давно
the,
в Team
really
Fortress
cool
купил
routing
ящик.
for this game, and,
И вот
every
жду,
now and
когда
then
он
he lets
подорожает,
slip
чтобы его
just
продать.
little things that he's decided to keep for himself.
Но как я
So-
его купил за 25 копеек? Он
I
так и
can't-
стоит
yeah, I can't
25
divulge it all.
копеек.
No, exactly.
There's got to be some mystery remaining.
Okay, so
Да,
I'm gonna
я
pull the
еще
pixel
помню
manipulation
из таких
skills,
стимовских
jump
историй,
off
что
field soldier, and that
что-то
is going to
мы с
enable
другом
us
решили
to do this,
купить
pitch
скины
specific
на М4
shot
в
here,
КС.
where we use the bazooka
М4
to,
Грифон.
knock the field soldier and myself through the
А,
hole that we created earlier.
И, короче,
Phoenix,
на следующий
does
день
brave damage,
вышел
needs to,
патч,
one of them dies from that brave damage,
который,
and then the other one
из-за
is
которого,
gonna die from the
ну,
field
переделали
soldier's brave
баланс
damage.
эмок.
So
По-моему,
yeah, that shot. If you
в
just
край
try to pull
занерфили
that shot off, just, like,
эмку с
walk up to the wall
глушителем,
and do it, because
и
the
скин
bazooka,
на
like, the
Грифон
trajectories you get,
поднялся
like,
в 3
they're
раза, мы
pixel
тогда
dependent,
себе
like, they're
игр
sub-pixel dependent. You're just
купили.
not gonna get it, so that's why we have to do that little jumping routine before we even do the shot. It just gets us into the exact same position every time.
Okay, I'm a little bit worried about this cluster trick here. So the cluster trick, same as the banana trick, but just with a cluster bomb, which isn't as strong. We got it though. It's fine.
All right.
Yeah, ideally what you want is the captain to stand on the side of artillery's heads so that just at an angle so that you can throw the cluster bomb underneath them and you don't have to actually take a def yourself. We didn't quite get that configuration this time though, so I had to have my worm involved as well, which, given that that's the last worm in that mission, if that cluster trick doesn't get the double kill, then you're back to square one. But
Yeah, nicely done on that one. So we're on to Wooden Ambush, mission 21. And there's a bunch of crates we can collect on top. We have a bunch of jetpacks in this mission. And the 4 enemy worms that we have to kill, they're all sequestered away in these little spots. The left 2 worms will actually sort of dig for us. They'll create a hole that we can just get into. So we don't have to worry so much about them.
На этой миссии червяки сами сейчас будут себе рыть могилу,
A little more annoying. So the sheep was sort of the
который можно будет
first shot,
посадить
and then
2
ideally we're
червяка.
gonna finish him off with a grenade.
yeah, and we've got a little manip happening on the left-hand side as well. I don't know if you want to talk about that.
Yeah, so on the left-hand side,
Ooh. Oh, that's
oh, you
unfortunate.
didn't quite get it.
Didn't get either of them. That's rare. So what I did, I placed. We'll go back to that in a moment. Basically, like I placed
Ой,
Phoenix to the left.
Pixel
just in
Perfect
case
не
this
удался.
happened. I still don't know if that's going to help because the wind is to the left here. But sometimes they can survive this. And okay, right, we're having to do backup strats here. Because we need a hole down to get down.
Время
there.
для
And the
backup
other grey
strat.
one. So what I'm going to do is going to go for the mine push. Oh, and the mine push failed as well. This is a disaster.
Okay, bit of bad luck here.
Yeah, alright, it's fine.
We'll get it.
Yeah, so the mine push there is a
Выглядит
sort of
так, как
backup
будто
strat to
лучше
get through to
начать
those field
заново.
soldiers, 'cause what you'd normally do is you
Не,
cover
просто
the
время
last
для
in
бэкап
place,
страт.
and assuming the right-hand side of the
Бэкап на
mission
бэкап.
went okay, they would just keep firing bazookas to the left until you had a tunnel to get through. Right, okay, that's fine. We can now get down to them, so that's fine. However, if that doesn't happen, you can do the mine push, but unfortunately the mine...
Так, у нас есть
it's
бэкап для
can be slightly
бэкапа,
hard
для
to
того,
push. It
чтобы
can
сделать
roll
бэкап.
out the way unceremoniously, so... Anyway, we are down now, so I'm just trying to think. I think a grenade will probably be best for this.
Yeah, grenade should be fine.
There we go. And then what have we got? I got two worms left. The good thing about this mission is you get a quite generous supply of jetpacks. So if things do go off piste like they have here, then you do have backups, which is nice. Shotgun, that's rare.
Yeah, it's a new one.
I mean, to be honest, everything that's just happened here is quite rare. So
yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate, but we can still make it through.
yeah.
And so this next shot is really cool. So Ruffled's going to lay a grenade and immediately walk right. So he's going to blast himself into these worms and just take out both of them. So he creates the hole with the
Но
grenade.
вот этот
and
бузган,
himself
это очень
into the
красиво
worms.
сейчас было.
They all go into the water, and he gets a double kill.
Okay, right. We're going to have quiet on the T for this one, just for the first move, because this is very tough. This mission is called Go Bananas. I'm going for a fairly frame-specific trick here. And we got it first try. Nice.
First try.
A pixel perfect
Excellent.
trick.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah,
That's a
basically,
clap.
what we try to do there is the object of this mission is to grab that crate on the right. You don't get a great deal of movement apparatus in this, apart from a low gravity, which takes 5 turns to materialize. So what I did there is I basically dropped a grenade at my worm's foot or tail, if you will, and then you have to time the jump there so that you jump just as the grenade
В этой миссии нужно дойти до ящика, но низкая гравитация разблокируется только через 5 ходов, поэтому
Yeah, it's sort of a damage
тут
boost. That one is really hard to
раннер
get on the
использует
first try. Oftentimes it takes like 2
сварку
or 3 tries
и
to get,
прыгает
and on
в
some days
определенный
you just
момент.
can't get it. It's very fickle.
К сожалению,
So we're
последняя
on
карта
to the
самая
drop zone, and on this one we have a
случайная,
bunch of worms
поэтому
on the left side of the map that we all have to
идет все
kill.
не по плану.
And for this first shotgun shot that Ruffled is doing, so notice how he shot the worm into the mine. So that has to be timed very precisely, and we actually time it on the
За
whole
2
second,
червями погонишься,
because the way the
все
mines
мина
work,
порешает.
they detect worms once every 10 frames. So if you don't hit the worm in the exact right frame, then the mine just won't
О,
activate,
за один
or
ход
the
минус
worm just
4
won't
червя.
go into that other mine.
Это вообще, кстати, прикольное использование червяка как оружие. То есть в игре очень много пушек, но мы забываем о самом главном оружии — это сам червяк.
So we got a quad kill on, or was it a triple kill?
Quad.
So, okay. So you got the quad on the first one. And
Можно ли считать
the
этот
last one he
выстрел
ended by
360
jumping
no-scope?
into, doing a jump knock into one of the worms. And so now we're aiming to some precise positions to get
Ну,
those
я не
last two
думаю,
worms.
тут,
You
что
got
тут
'em,
прям
first try,
ноускоп.
nicely
Тут
done.
прям до пикселя все посчитано.
Those shots are a little bit scary. If you miss, like you're out of shotgun, it's terrible.
Right, okay, so I'm using the background for a manipulation on this first one. Which Mad Black found, although I don't know if you used the star strap for this yet, Mad Black.
Yeah.
I don't know if we talked about this one yet, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we see those little stars whizzing by in the background, and that's if you have the full background enabled. So that can allow you to do these specific timings. If you do the same timings on your shots every turn, then you can actually get the same outcomes from the CPU. And we kind of did that just there so that that first worm walks right and shoots at our worm, but doesn't knock that major worm out of position.
yeah.
So we got the manip.
Здесь еще вымеряются тайминги для манипуляции искусственным интеллектом червяков.
Is there is a politician in the center of the map here?
4 червя в одну
You can tell they're
точку.
a politician because of the hat. And
Classic politician hat.
yeah, and the object of this mission, it's got quite a lot of plot in this one. You're supposed to save it not just from the enemy worms, but also from the end of the world. Because if you wait 8 turns, then a meteor
Но тут в чате начинаются поговорки с червяками.
Ну, я случайно начал это.
Не то чтобы это есть плохо.
Ну, это звучит забавно.
before the meteor shower even arrives.
Пять червей в одной точке.
Yeah,
Это монстр
Э,
киллер.
Ранее
Это
готовить
рампейдж.
дождь.
most of the missions in this game.
Ранее готовить дождь из
And so
червей.
Ruffled has piled basically all the worms on the map, and there's a lot.
Вот вы
into this
думали,
central
вот
pile
когда
here.
дождь идет,
So
да,
now we're
потом
going to
червяки,
bat them
оказывается,
into the artillery worm, and
Я не
Ну,
удивлюсь,
асфальта.
если...
we
О,
can actually end it right here with a big death chain.
6
Если
червей в
вы
одной
думали,
точке!
если вы думали, что червяки появляются просто, что они из земли выползают,
Началась змейка.
то на самом деле это просто дождь из червей.
Yeah, artillery survived. That's a shame. That's a shame. It's all right.
Artillery.
It's fine. It's not too hard to clean that up. although I am out of
Ай-яй,
laser
один
rope,
походу
so that
выживет.
will take it a little bit longer. I could YOLO a grenade shot, but I don't have any specific.
Shotgun, maybe? Yeah, I guess I usually use shotgun. But yeah, for that last death chain of grave animations, it's pretty much impossible to control it. Sometimes all the worms will die, sometimes there's like an escapee or two. So it's just one of those, like, shoot, bat and pray.
Yeah. Okay, right. So easy enough now. Just one shot on artillery's head. We're not going to get him in the water, which is a shame. But because basically with this game, you kind of want to do as many of your kills as plops, getting them in the water rather than on land because the animation is much quicker. But here's a short mission. This one, Mars Star.
So for Mars Star, this is like the only mission I think where we can fire multiple weapons in the same turn.
Yeah.
And so we have some grenades and petrols. We're just going to use 2 grenades.
Я, кстати, заметил, что
And all we have to do
на
is
этом
destroy
ГДГ
that
почему-то
blinking crate on the right
вархолдеры
side of the map.
записываются в
So he
комментаторы.
tosses 2 grenades and at the same time lays a girder. The grenades
Ну, надо
hole,
тоже
and then the
проявить
second one
другим
destroys the
людям
crate. So
свои умения.
that's it for that mission.
Yeah. It's very
Вот в предыдущей
fun. It's a fun
миссии
strat, that one.
было два режима. Во-первых, червяки не могли двигаться, и в одном ходу можно было использовать несколько раз оружие.
You just get 20 seconds per turn. Using a grenade to kill that worm off there, and then we're going to use a grenade to do a nice double with the
Как же он
major
выделил
and
гранату
major
просто.
on the right-hand side. But there's
По
not
таймингу
really that
прыжочек.
much of interest to this mission apart from that. So while we set that move up, open it up for another donation. If there's any going.
Oh, there's so many that I'm
А вообще, я
never gonna
сейчас
get to,
зачитаю
unfortunately, but here is
червячьи
$20 from Blip Blop. Good name.
поговорки из
Says
чата.
Worms Armageddon brings back childhood memories. Incredible to see the missions I struggled so much with getting completely obliterated with ease.
Но перед этим зачитаю донат то, что,
$20 from Taylor that says loved Worms Armageddon
опять
when I
же,
was a kid.
казалось, что
A lot
эти
of
миссии
these
невозможны, но
donations
ранее
are
их просто
nostalgia
как
of this
семечки
game, so
щелкают.
they're a big fan of you bringing it here.
It's still available on Steam, gang.
Также люди ностальгируют по этой игре на донатах. Итак, первая червячья поговорка у нас. Червь червяку граната, базука и могила. 7 раз отмерь, 1 раз все равно промажь. Сколько червяку базуку не давай, он все равно на святую гранату смотрит. Под лежачего червяка все равно можно положить мину.
Because yeah, okay, I get it. Right. So yeah, now we're going to do a little trick called dynamite hatting. Basically, like
Лучше граната в руке, чем овца в небе.
Several different pixel positions that you can do it in. And each pixel position will dictate which trajectory that the worms get sent off in. So we just put it on the
Без
furthest
турдачера
right
Вяк все равно утонет.
pixel on their head there, so that they go into the water. All right,
nicely
now this is a tough one. This is a new strat.
Знаете,
Do you want to talk about this?
Вы
Map?
знаете, вот моих знаний все равно не хватает понять, как он задом ходит. Прыгать я еще понимаю, но вот задом ходить это уже все, это край.
Он как-то клавишами передвижения манипулирует. Было объяснение.
So you didn't quite get it there. Then what we're gonna do is kill off the left worm here. We have 4 worms that we need to kill, and we're armed with only bazooka. It's a very cruel mission. It's one of the most evil missions. But we can actually cheese through it really fast if we can just get this one shot. But
Очень сложный трюк в начале,
and it takes a lot of
который
practice.
требует
You got it.
пиксель
I just need to see
перфекта.
if we need 1 arrow left on the wind in the bottom right-hand corner. So right, we got it. There we go.
Boom.
So as a result of that, what happens now is Captain here is going to fire a bazooka up to the top right. In doing so, they're going to hit that oil drum, which knocks both of the captains on the left here down onto this mine, getting a very nice double kill on them without us having to attack them ourselves.
It's a fantastic AI minute.
Один выстрел
And it's basically like we get
заставил
3 worms for the
искусственный
price of 1.
интеллект
And then on our next
самоуничтожиться.
turn, all we have to do is just nudge this major
Как
into
будто
the
сюжет
mine.
Терминатора
And we'll
пересказал.
actually get the same wind every time, so we know exactly how to do this. Just drop off the barrel, shoot straight ahead.
I have found though that the frame detection on the mine can actually like go wrong on this one. So
Oh, I haven't seen that.
yeah, I don't skip walk across the oil drum anymore because if you do that, then you can go fast enough that
Oh.
you get the wrong timing. So,
Interesting.
but yeah,
Alright, I gotta study
I'll
that.
let you know in the Discord.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, stolen goods.
So this one,
Мои знания меня
we
немножко
had
подводят.
rope,
Microprose
and we
это
have
были
the,
издатели или
Microprose
разрабы?
logo.
Я,
It's
например,
basically the
помню,
entire
что
Seventeen разрабы.
So we have to rope
Microprose, они XCOM
and we have some
пилили.
worms on top that
Скорее
we need
всего,
to kill.
издатель.
There's basically only one crate that we're going to use to kill these worms, and it's a French sheep strike, which rains down flaming sheep onto the landscape.
Yeah, Microprose were the original publishers of the game, just in case anyone's.
Да, это
thinking,
издатель.
That text doesn't look
поясняет.
as small as it says it does. Yeah, so basically what we're going to do here, we're going to hope for RNG because the sheep bounce around quite a lot when we drop them. So
Не, ну знаешь,
also
может там
popping
2 разраба
into a
было.
slightly better position
знает.
here, just in case it doesn't go well. But
Okay, now we pray.
try to get the pixel. It's not good. There we go. Okay, so so 2 sheep went over to the field soldier on the right. That's usually the one who survives. So we'll see.
Oh,
Full house. There we go.
you got it.
Тоже
Oh my
выживет.
gosh.
That's pretty rare.
О,
You get all of
yes,
them
yeah.
just with the sheep
Кроме
strike.
нашего.
That's pretty rare. It's totally
Наш
down to
выжил.
luck. Like we just can't really
Ну,
control
и
it.
запасной
A
червяк.
lot of times, like one worm will survive, but yeah, if you get all 4, that's like a huge time save.
Because you don't get many other weapons to deal with it otherwise.
Не, повезло, что наш выжил, как бы это
But yeah,
небольшой
you do
сейф,
it
потому
usually
что мы не
expect
увидели
to do a bit of
анимацию, как
cleanup
наш червь
on that
погибает.
afterwards.
Yeah, so now we're on to sinking ice cap. This one's interesting because we have some worms to kill across the map, and all we have is like rope and blowtorch. And blowtorch is, for the most part, not an offensive weapon, but we do have to use it to kill these worms. So he kills that left assassin worm, and he does a specific series of jumps to get on this assassin worm's head. And now let's look at what he does. He calls an airstrike, and in the midst of calling that
В чате
airstrike,
пишут, что
our worm phases through the assassin and triggers a mine,
Team
killing
17
him, but we
в прошлом
survive.
году
So
решили
by calling
пойти
that
в NFT.
airstrike, he doomed himself, basically.
Yeah, worm cannot do a move while another
Но
worm's on their head.
сейчас,
without
в
the worm
принципе, если
falling off.
разрабы говорят, что у них будут
Yeah,
все эти модные
just basic
фишки, значит,
physics.
что
Now, we have
им
13
просто
HP,
делать
which is
нечего,
more than
кроме
I'd like
как
at this
добавлять
point.
различные
Ideally,
финтифлюшки
we
вместо того,
need
чтобы игру
less than
разрабатывать.
8 for the end of this mission, but it's still
Поэтому
not a
часто
problem. What we would do if we had
это
less than
такой
8 is we would
сигнал
end
к тому,
that turn
что
by jumping down onto the assassin, because that would kill
лишний
our
раз
worm off,
пахать
but the grave
разработчиков.
damage would kill them. Instead, we're standing on a position on top of the cottage here, which manipulates the assassin into airstriking our worm, but because they're in the firing line, they take a lot of damage as well and kill themselves off. So we managed to complete this mission by getting 2 of the enemy worms to kill themselves for us, which is very pleasing.
It's very kind of them.
It is.
Вот как бы сейчас
The
такие,
CPU is
знаете,
generous.
сложные времена, вот как бы недостаточно просто разработать хорошую игру,
Okay, now we're on
чтобы
to, this
окупить
one,
себя, знаете.
it's not really
Раньше все
scary, I
было
would
проще,
say,
просто люди
but
делали хорошие игры.
I guess if you have to like reset, it's a little bit scary.
Oh,
So
yeah.
our worm is anchored to the spot. We can't move. It's like artillery mode. And we have to kill 4 worms just all across the map using only grenades and some carefully placed girders. So since there's 4 worms, you would expect it to take 4 shots. We can actually do a little better and do it in 3. Yeah. Okay, nice.
The
So
first-
Ruffle gets that first shot. It pushes that worm to the lower Grenadier, doing a
Не, я
little
немножко
bit of
иронизирую.
13 damage we get on
Как бы я
the
не
little
совсем
Grenadier
серьезно,
there, but
конечно.
that's enough for
Вот
what we
сейчас
want to do with them. Now these girders I've put up the top left here stop this Grenadier from attacking us, which is part of the reason we do it.
то сейчас
but also
вообще, в
should
принципе,
act as a
в
fire for the
индустрии
next
очень
move. So
принято
let's see how
стрелять
we
себе
go.
в ногу.
So yeah, not a full strength shot that one. Okay, we're fine.
Okay,
Yeah, go.
awesome.
Grenade
Не,
launcher
даже
slightly out of the position I
на
normally
самом-то
use
деле,
to
не знаю,
help
может,
out.
это
As you can see, it
какая-то
knocks that
утиная
Grenadier
ностальгия, но
onto
даже
the middle
тигры,
Grenadier,
которые
and we
находятся
do
во фулл
some more great
блоке,
damage to them. So we managed to kill off the
все равно
middle Grenadier
представляют
by throwing a single grenade
какой-то
down.
интерес.
It's very nice. It's just a freebie kill.
Yeah, mommy's boy.
Okay, and now we have a final shot.
Ну, они зачастую
I
фулл-блок,
guess, I don't know, if you
блочные
haven't
игры,
seen
они
this
прям
before, just take a guess
как-то
how this
по-интересному
shot will work.
сделаны.
You have to kill this Grenadier,
Не беря в расчет
who is really
оффл
just
блок Есы,
away from
который
us.
специально берет прям, ну,
Nice.
очень
There we go.
плохие игры.
Yeah, we had max bounce on for that one as well because you need it. But yeah.
Yeah, series of bounces. It's always awesome to see that.
All right, so let's see if we can get the manip on this one because this is an interesting one.
That's automatic, by the way.
Okay,
Might be a
goody
little
two-shoes.
late, but we'll see. Yeah, go on if you want to explain what's going
Yeah,
on.
goody two shoes. This map is
Вообще,
quite
сейчас
solid.
вот
We have to
повонять,
torch
как
out of these- this
такой
whole shoe
старый дед-пердед.
configuration. There's
Наверное,
some
просто сейчас игры
crates on
разрабатывать
top
гораздо
of the
проще.
shoes that we have to collect.
Что не есть
And
плохо,
we
конечно
have
же.
aqua sheep, so we can fly that,
Как бы
collect the
любой
crates,
человек,
and kill those
обладающий
worms. And on his first turn, Ruffle did a manip.
независимо с какими-либо
So,
навыками,
I
может
think we got
научиться
it. Let's see.
пилить
Yes.
шедевры, как, например,
So he
Undertale
manip
тот же, да,
worms
который
into
там на
hitting
гейммейкере
themselves, which
сделан.
is gonna save us
Просто дело в том,
a turn.
что
And he did that just by
однотипную
timing his
игру
blowtorch at
на
the right
плеймаркете
time.
сделать сейчас очень
If
просто.
you do the same move every time, you're gonna get the same
Вот,
CPU
и
outcome.
сейчас больше
And
проблема
you
не в том,
have, I
что
forget, we
плохие
have, like,
игры, а то,
4
что их
frames
много.
where that's
И
possible.
плохие не просто тем,
But
что
yeah,
они не отличаются друг от друга,
it's so bad,
да,
it's so hard to time.
как бы раньше. Даже если игра плохая, они все равно было в чем-то уникальном.
Yeah, I think I counted 4. Like, we do have one cool thing about Worms Armageddon, like there are replays, which are you can like slow them down, you know, check which frame things happened on, things like that. It's pretty cool. And so we're torching out of the shoe.
And yeah, we're now going to use an aqua sheep to collect some of the crates that we need to give us some weapons to finish this mission off. We have time for a donation while we're setting up for that, if there's one going.
Alrighty then, here's $10 from Senshi_ZA with the message greetings from South Africa.
Ну да,
Good
то
news
есть,
is donating through one of my favorite streamers. Thanks for the
в принципе,
event and good luck
во время
with it.
развития
It was fun.
технологии, да, как
Actually,
вот,
let's have
например,
another,
90-е,
because,
нулевые,
I want to try and concentrate on this.
да и даже 80-е, но
$10 here from Stubbsy with the message,
как бы не
RuffledBricks
очень эксперт по этим
GDQ. Hey,
временам.
that's champion. Good
Было
luck
очень
on
много
your run, mate. Hope
экспериментов,
you took your blood and stomach pills.
и в
You're
этом
shy.
плане очень приятно быть голым археологом.
One more.
One more, $25 here from Malibu Jukebox. So happy to see Worms Armageddon at GDQ, one of my favorite games of all time, and I'm excited to see it crushed by RuffledBricks.
Bless you. Thank you very much. Okay, so yeah, we managed to get all
У меня
the
тут
crates that we
прилетел
need.
донат.
That's quite a scary turn, that one, because
Говорят,
if
что
you
вот,
get
блин, червяки, мое детство. Вообще
and end up
офигеть.
blowing up the crates or whatever, then that's pretty
Я еще
much
что-то
set.
вспомнил историю о том, что
Yeah, nicely done. That one, this
что-то я был в
like that is
магазине,
a
но
run
тогда
killer for
вот,
sure.
мелким был,
It'll like if you don't get
и
the sheep,
хотели
you collect
вернуть
crates,
диск с червяками, потому
that's
что
like 2 minutes lost.
игра не
So,
работала,
yeah.
а продавец такой, ну, типа, все же нормально, просто вот на коробке написано, что игра не работает под Windows XP.
User run to that,
Хотя, не
but
знаю,
it's
я
always,
даже
like,
под
in the back
XP-шкой
of
не
our
испытываю
minds.
проблем с этой игрой.
So you can see we've got a much better selection of weapons now for this one. We use the baseball
Может,
bat
это
to
прям
kill those two
супер
worms
древние
off there.
были
And
червяки.
now this major, yeah, it's usually the
Первые,
major
вторые
top that
какие
we
были.
use
Не-не-не,
this,
это как раз
this
Волк
turn
Пати,
here. So
по-моему,
he's
был.
going to line himself up to the
Коробка
right-hand
с
side
Волк
of the
Пати.
boot. And I'm going to use an airstrike to kill him off, which is relatively specific.
We're looking at the notches on the boot and lining up our airstrike. Awesome, you got it.
I said relatively specific there because I got a complaint under one of the other marathon runs I did that said I used the phrase pixel perfect too much. And all
Ну
I'll
да,
say
то
is
есть
that,
насчет
like, if you've
80-х
not tried this run before, try it
все-таки
yourself, and then you'll see just how specific a lot of these shots are.
они специфичные довольно игры, просто
Yeah.
я
Oh,
ничего
so
против
there's
них не
one
имею, я
star
просто
for
сам
the
по себе
bearer on
человек,
that
который
Right.
не очень сильно выкупает
So
эстетику
this
80-х.
mission is Trouble in Toy Store. This one's I quite like this one actually. This what we do there is they've got the grenade at the beginning there just to kill the 2 worms on the left-hand side straight away. Now what we want is the captain to stand in a very specific position on the side of the teddy's ear. They have. If they don't, that's pretty much a reset. But most of the time, it will happen. We need them in that position.
Я на самом деле не согласен, что сейчас идет эра ремейков. Скорее, сейчас пошла эра, когда инди вытесняет AAA. И
Ну,
эта эра началась уже довольно-таки давно, и она продолжает существовать, продолжает показывать, что зачастую всякие AAA команды, они очень сильно уступают тому, что делают энтузиасты.
ну, на самом деле я не считаю, что это есть плохо, даже где-то хорошо, потому что дает инди? Инди дает свежий воздух в игровой индустрии. Проблема нынешнего AAA не только в игровой индустрии в том, что люди боятся рискнуть своими деньгами, и чаще они просто избирают безопасные стратегии производства. То есть, опять же, те же ремейки, ремастеры. Это вот тупо, на самом деле, сейф-страта. Типа, зачем пытаться рисковать и делать что-то новое, рискуя потерять кучу денег, репутации и получить тумаков от инвесторов, если можно взять какую-нибудь франшизу и сделать очередную часть. Потому что так или иначе будет аудитория фанатов, которые все равно это купят.
On the captain, I don't trust the mortars to get 10 damage.
Yeah. So like a lot of times to clean up those worms, because usually you
А у инди-разработчиков-то на самом деле, как у любого человека искусства, это история из разряда «я заложил в свой дом семью и собаку, чтобы сделать проект мечты». Не, это буквально история про игру ва-банк.
Ну, я не согласен. Сейчас больше... Я делал это по выходным, и почему-то это выстрелило, и я стал миллиардером.
Let's have one more donation while we're going over to do that.
That's pure magic, by the way.
Here's $25 from Jason that says, one more dono before bed. Glad to see Worms getting a run. Thank you to everyone who...
Ну, это, знаешь, это в целом жизнь такая, она непредсказуемая. Можешь 20 лет потратить на проект мечты, и это может не окупиться, а ты можешь, не знаю, 2 раза шевельнуть пальчиком, и ты станешь знаменитым.
We'll talk about how you can learn how to do this run at the end, because we would very much like more runners.
Oh yeah, it's such an incredible game. Like it seems like there should be a lot more. We have gotten some new runners. Like there's a new category called 10 quick games, and there's also.
Ну, вообще, да, есть в этом зерно правды, что сейчас Индия больше с издателями.
Yeah, for all missions specifically, we definitely need more.
Yeah, absolutely. So we haven't talked about the VIP.
Но мне кажется, это что-то из разряда что-то между инди и AAA.
They're a scientist because they're wearing a scientist hat. And
classic scientist hat.
Classic scientist hat. They're slightly ill, so they're losing 3 health between every turn. They don't actually die as a result of that. It will level out at 1 if you go that long. But generally, we don't tend to say much about them because it doesn't matter. They're very unlikely to get killed in this mission if you do it right. So, and here's your last chance, gang, to sing along with the feel-good hit of the summer. Here's our last holy hand grenade of the run. Enjoy. And that's it. We wouldn't normally do that. Usually we use a cluster trick for that, but since we reset the mission once, we had a spare holy hand grenade going, so I thought, let's just use it.
Okay.
And last mission.
Nicely done. Last mission, spectral recovery. So this one, basically the premise
Ну, вообще,
is,
если честно говоря, я
of
все эти
two
ремастеры
forts gonna
и
drop on the far left side of the
ремейки
map.
оправдываю только в
If
одном
you just let
случае,
it drop, it's gonna sink into the ocean,
если
so we
оно
have to
выходит
catch
на
it
актуальную
with a garden,
платформу и нет
and we first
особо
have to, like, blow torch our way to
способа
some girders.
поиграть
And there is a way to do this that just
в
involves
старой
kinda
версии.
blowtorching the whole time.
Если там,
While the
допустим,
3 CPU worms remain on top.
эмулятор
But
какой-то
we're gonna do something different
на
and
какой-то
just
железке не
kinda
тянет.
take out the CPU worms.
Мне нравятся такие ремейки,
they're
например,
in our
как
way.
Resident Evil.
Yeah, type
Как,
1 in
например,
chat, by the way, if you know what the maps here are made
Black
of,
Mesa,
what these
например,
things
тоже
are
очень
that you can
классно
see
получилось.
with the
Что это
logo on.
вроде бы оригинальная игра, но
Right.
там есть свои
So,
дополнения,
2
которые
second max bounce grenade there
как
to
бы
knock the
берут
captain into
оригинальную
the water,
идею
and
и
as that
еще
happens, I'm
и
doing a jump
лучше
knock on the
делают.
grenadier on the right. That
Ну да,
keeps
кстати,
those
резик
worms
это
off.
один из тех случаев, когда
And then
ремастер сделан
this,
правильно.
I have
То есть
to
это
say,
такое
really
переосмысление
brilliant, the
старой
main
формулы.
captain here. They just go apoplectic with rage here, so they start dropping down the side of this, whatever it is, because they're gonna come down and sort GL Phoenix out now, and this is pretty scary. We could lose the entire run as a result of this move, so let's see what he does. That was close. Right, so last thing we need to do here.
Swing and a miss.
Yeah. So last thing we need to do here is just.
Сейчас был опасный момент, из которого могла
Well, I said the last
заруиниться
thing. I mean, it's the last thing
весь
you need to
ран.
do to kill off the enemy worms, but that's not the condition for winning this mission. The condition is actually saving the crate that's going to fall into the water. So, what happens now? Because all the enemy worms are killed off, we get to take all of their turns, which saves a fair bit of time on this mission. We're then going to just grab the girder, go up to the top left of the map, set up the girder so that it can catch the crate, and then just wait until it arrives. So, we can have a couple of donations just before that happens, but just
Несмотря на то,
heads
что
up
вы
to the
убили
chat,
всех
time is
червяков,
gonna be when you see the
тут
congratulations
миссия
screen,
это,
after this mission. But,
это
yeah,
вот
take it away,
взять
Tony.
ящики.
Alrighty, $20 here from our
Это
friend
второе
Anonymous
условие
once
для
again. Hey, GDQ, love
победы в
Worms
этой
games
миссии, и
ever
скоро
since
будет
playing
время.
the OG of tactical artillery games, Scorched Earth, as a kid many moons ago with my dad. Amazing to see this level of accuracy. If I had half the skill, maybe I could have won some games. Holy hand grenade for the win!
Ну вообще, кстати, еще один пример
$10 here
хорошего
from
ремастера
Rusty
это
Jones
Diablo 2.
59. Hey, from England, shout out to RuffledBricks. Absolutely loving this run. Worms Armageddon was my favorite game as a kid, but don't remember it being this easy. $5.08 here from Elflay that says, I should really go to sleep, but I just couldn't resist staying up for Worms Armageddon. The controls in the Nintendo 64 version frustrated me to no end as a child, but me and my brother still spent countless hours blasting each other to bits in it. Good times. Clunky and aggravating, but still good times.
All right, so time is coming up. We're just skipping.
А если Diablo 2 не ремастер, то что? Просто, в принципе, Diablo 2 Resurrected сохраняет старую формулу Diablo 2 Lot of Destruction.
Grab the crate. Time.
Время почти было прикольное, где были бы одни однёрки.
Worms Armageddon, all missions any percent in I don't know, some amount of time. Not sure. We had to stop halfway through, so
We did have to stop, but
Yeah.
that was a hell of a run. You got a lot of good ones. Goody Two Shoes was amazing.
yeah.
Drop Zone.
That was good. But yeah, so should give some quick shout outs before we go. Quick shout out to everyone who's made this run the run it is. Chiefly
Я вообще не удивлюсь, что
Mark,
в
who
реальной
has,
жизни
done
Райнер вообще
some
является
incredible
каким-нибудь
work
там
on
профессором
launching this game
математических наук.
over the
Oh,
years.
thank you.
But also to Deadcode, to Lex, to Psychotropic, to Peachy,
Ну,
to everyone in the Worms.
это на
speedrunning
самом деле
Discord server.
неудивительно.
Please do check to join that if you
Я
interested
представляю,
in
знаешь,
learning
у
how to
него
do,
есть
speedruns of
огромная
any of the
тетрадь
Worms games.
А4, полностью
And,
записаны,
shout
в
out
ней
to
записаны
Cube
все
for
ходы,
actually,
просчитано
having
по
this run.
градусам, в
It's
какой
been really
пиксель нужно
appreciated. Please do keep
прицелиться,
donating to
чтобы
this, fantastic cause.
сделать
And Matt Black,
идеальный
anything you wanna
бросок
shout out?
гранаты. При
Anything
этом
shout out yourself?
там также расположение по координатно
Sure.
идеально.
Yeah, you can
Червяк.
Также у
Twitch.tv/.
спидранов червяков есть свой Дискорд. Если вы вдруг заинтересовались спидраном и у вас прокачан довольно сильно английский язык, вы можете присоединиться в сервер и начать свою карьеру спидранных червяков. Может, вы будете также офигенно математически высчитывать ходы и прокачаете свою логику.
RuffledBricks, of course, he's been amazing just running this game constantly, doing 12-hour streams. It's amazing. Psych, Toby Trigger, Charles, Corey Dex, King Hingle, all the people in the speedrunning community.
Dismal Noob as
and
well.
shout out to Monkey Island, who's been running the longest lasting Worms League, just called the ultimate site at tus-wa.com. Shout out to Dream Trance and Zemke for running a Chaos and Intermediate League, respectively. Just lots of people in the community who have been keeping this alive. And biggest shout outs to Cyber Shadow Steps and Deadcode for updating and maintaining the game for the past 20 years, especially Deadcode.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm at twitch.tv/RuffledBricks if you want to see me do this sort of thing.
Да, игры на ГДК делаются по заявкам, люди подают